Hello, Freedom Walkers. It's Annie Mathias, and today I wanted to tell you a story about a new product that I have just created. Here's the backstory, because there always is a backstory, isn't there? There's always a backstory to why we do what we do. In my life, many times those backstories are ways of bringing forth freedom out of something that wasn't very freeing in the original situation. You see, when I was a little kid growing up, we were supposed to write these thank you notes, and I always felt a little awkward and a little, um, just a little embarrassed because I was always concerned that my spelling was not very good. I was an avid reader and I loved writing, but my spelling was not very good, and I didn't have any teachers who taught about phonetics. It was more of a memorization of what a word should look like. So we wrote it out 10 times, and then you were supposed to have remembered how to spell it. So, anyhow, I remember there was one particular grandmother, and I was supposed to write a thank you note for her. She would always send us first day of issue stamps, and we were always supposed to write her a thank you note every time one of those came in the mail. And I really dreaded getting those because it meant having to write a thank you note. The reason I dreaded it was because I would sit down and write her a thank you note with my very best penmanship. I would try to make it original, I would try to make it interesting, and I'd always get it back. She would circle the things that were misspelled. She would circle places where the punctuation wasn't right. And I always felt so criticized and so shamed. So it's little wonder I began to hate to write thank you notes. And that seemed to carry on with me later on throughout my life, too. I can sit down and write a really wonderful letter at times where it will be just a flow of writing, but those thank you notes really daunted me until recently. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something about that. I've kind of dusted off some of my photography skills. I used to be one of the photographers back in the days of dark rooms, and I really loved that. So I took some of my photos and I made them into what I am calling art cards. This is my buddy. You'll recognize him. There's Strider. Now, these art cards are blank on the inside and not a whole lot of space to have to write it, actually. You can use it as a birthday card. You could use it as a thank you note. You can use it just as a way to say hello. And they all, on the back, they all have the names of what's on the front. So I'm starting to bring these out. I'd like to show them to you bit by bit as I put them up on my website. There's 5 and envelopes in each box. It's really a nice gift. It's also nice for yourself. So if you would like to order some of my art cards, I have included the link, and you can also post message me or email me and let me know. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and always remember, Freedom Walkers, always remember, you can always turn situations into something that's redemptive, into something that's good. And I'm sure you'll see that theme as you get to watch more and more of what I'm creating. You'll see that theme in my life because sometimes when life is difficult, we do turn it around. It's all about how we frame and reframe certain things. Freedom Walkers, always remember, take those parts of your lives which maybe weren't so wonderful. I don't know that you had a grandmother who would send you back your thank you notes circled and corrected in red pen. But maybe you had a part of your life that wasn't so wonderful. How can you reframe that? How can you reclaim that? How can you move in and change and take away the sting of something that may not have been so terribly wonderful in the first place? I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to think about that. And you can think about me with my art cards. And as a child being so ashamed and so humiliated with getting these thank you notes back. And now